Hey, double hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name's Alex Andrew.
And I'm Gretchen Grace.
Hey, sitting in for Dr. Shasta today.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, in fact, Dr. Shasta is doing something with some senators or something for bullying, cyberbullying, I think.
Oh,
or
that's
something
fantastic.
Like that. Yeah, so hopefully she has a petition. You know, she's all into that kind of stuff, and I think that's great.
I think it's important.
It really is.
Yes.
It really is. And so speaking of important,
Yes.
we're going to have a really good guest today, and I'm
I'm
really
excited.
We
I'm
got
so excited.
Francis, and I'm going to butcher your name, but I'm going to call it Hostenbach.
That's close enough, yeah.
Close enough?
That's close enough. Thank
Okay,
you.
and we have one of his clients, Lisa, also with us. What's your last name, Lisa? I'm sorry.
It's Audie.
Audie.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so we got some people who are like from different countries here today. I'm feeling very international. This is great. I'm a little Norwegian myself, actually. I found out through that saliva test. What is it?
Oh, yeah.
Me,
23andMe.
23andMe.
Good.
I'm actually 82% Norwegian and about 18% Irish. So I kind of figured that one out.
Well, there you go.
That's why I have...
That explains a lot.
Doesn't it? Exactly. Well, Gretchen, you've been doing so much with research and all this other stuff lately, which is kind of perfect for what we're going to be talking about today.
Yes, absolutely.
Because Francis is actually he's a semiconductor and manufacturing technology veteran. You've been doing this for, you're not that old, 32 years?
32 years. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
32 years was the first time I came to Silicon Valley from the Netherlands. Yeah.
No
for
kidding.
a visit, just for a business trip. Yeah.
And you ended up
Really?
getting stuck here, huh?
I liked it from the moment I landed and explored the area. And
And I was
coming back.
I was 3 years old then. No, that's right.
Must be.
But you've been in the electronics industry for a long time, and looks like this tool that you have is so amazing. We were talking about it before the show, and it uses pulse electromagnetic fields to be able to get rid of pain. It's got to have some other sources to that. Is there anything else to that, or what is that all about?
Pulse electromagnetic fields have been researched for decades already, and that's also not my invention. So it has been used as a therapy form, and the equipment which is available on the market is quite expensive and not affordable for the general consumer. And a person in my family suffered from 15 years from chronic pain, and at one point I read about this pulse electromagnetic field therapy. And she tried it, and 1 month she recovered completely.
Wow.
And then I got excited, and it became a passionate hobby. It became more than a hobby, and I got kind of carried away with it. So,
well, that's really cool. I think one of the things that I thought was really neat about it was that it's a portable thing. You know, we've talked about the infrared mat, which we love.
I have loved
right?
it. Yes,
I know, and it makes me a little too hot at night.
It's true, but it does a good work. You feel fantastic the next day.
And then there's the what they call, I guess, the beamer mat,
Yes.
right? Which does use some of this frequency type stuff, which is kind of the next level up. But those things are like, what, $6,000, $4,000 bucks, depending on where they're coming from.
And that's distributor cost.
Yeah, so how do you? And a lot of this stuff isn't covered under insurance either,
No,
right?
right.
So how does one afford this? Well, this is really cool because it allows us to be able to afford to get good holistic health without having to drop thousands and thousands of dollars.
I can't wait to hear more.
This is going to be great. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Hey, double hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. We're back. My name's Alex Andrew.
And I'm Gretchen Grace.
Sitting in for Dr. Shasta.
Yes, I am.
We were going to do this by myself, but I thought, you know what? We need somebody as a host who looks pretty. So and smart, by the way.
Fantastic.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
that works. And we're talking about some really neat technology, which I know you're interested in.
Very exciting. Absolutely.
Very interested in. And, I think that pain management we have this huge opiate problem
Absolutely.
now, and it's so easy for people to get hooked on some of these opioids, and you hear about this all over the place. It's something that is killing people right and left. So having a way to get rid of pain in a easy, holistic way, I guess, would we call this holistic?
It is,
Francis?
right as you say, because pain is a warning of the body to alert you of something. And what we've been doing in Western medicine is kind of then suppress the pain feeling while ignoring the cause of the pain.
Right.
Yes.
And that's with our technology, we go deeper. We really want to work on the root cause of where your body is coping with,
Right.
and that then the body can give up this pain feeling because it doesn't need to alert you for it, because the root of the issue has disappeared.
I love the whole idea behind this, but the technology is fascinating. Francis, tell us, how did you come up with this invention?
I mentioned earlier that I had a family member which was suffering 15 years from chronic pain in the pelvic area. She couldn't walk for a period of time. Then through physiotherapy, she learned to be mobile again, but she learned to move with pain. When I read about PEMF and I got in contact with a company who was offering that, and through them I was referred to a therapist, and she had 2 sessions in 1 month, and she was healed as of today.
Wow.
And she
2 sessions?
2 sessions in 1 month.
That's all it
indeed.
took.
All it took. And she also got herself educated as a natural therapist. And her clinic is now called Moving Without Pain.
Oh, that's exciting. That's great.
And then I got an attention. I want to understand this more. I want to do something with it. So actually, I ended up, selling off my other company I was working at that time, and joining this company as a chief operating officer to help
Really?
manufacture their device for therapists.
Fantastic.
And that's how I learned more about the background on that.
That is so excited. So what made you take that idea and then turn it into this technology, into an app to where it's portable? I mean, that I think is revolutionary in itself.
And it's neat too, because everybody has a cell phone.
Yes.
Right? I mean,
yes.
is there an app for that? Obviously there is. This is awesome.
Yeah.
I love this.
The reason was that the therapeutic systems out on the market, and the one I was working with at that time, they were expensive. And from therapists, which were our customers, we received multiple times questions from, well, it would really be great if you guys could develop a consumer version, which would be a fraction of the cost. And I couldn't, give up on that thought and that kind of setting that target. And then, like a brainwave, I said, what if I could make this work from a smartphone? Because the smartphone electronics, it offers more capability than all the computers which were used to put the first man on the moon.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
no
We don't
kidding.
realize that.
Right.
So, in particular, the high-end smartphones, they are, from a technology point of view, they're fantastic. So, I did some experiments trying to generate these frequencies used on these therapeutic devices, calibrated them, was able to do that. So I have a piece of hardware on the keychain.
I like how you call that hardware. It looks like jewelry to
Doesn't
me.
it?
Yeah, I love that
It's
more. Thank you for
beautiful.
correcting me. It's the engineer language. I'm just getting stuck on here. But,
That's great.
but thank you for that compliment, because we wanted to make it beautiful so people actually carry that with them. It doesn't end up the phone in there, carry with them, and that ends up at home in a drawer. So
Right.
you can then plug it in your phone, and you can run the app here on the smartphone. You can select a specific area and get the signal
I
running.
like that, because it goes through all the different parts of the body, and I guess the program itself is keeping data to be able to tell you as you go along what's going on as far as the pain and all that kind of thing.
Yeah. I kind of skipped through that quickly, but actually in the program you can select the area you want to treat on. It's just it doesn't change the frequencies which a specific function exhibits, but it keeps track on your progression, because we also have a
Very
pain score,
interesting, yeah.
which you kind of use before and after, and then you store it.
Wow, so
So there you
very
can-
user-friendly.
Yeah, you can go back and look,
Yeah.
what did I treat? I have a tennis elbow. Look, I did 5 sessions on my
Yes.
elbow, and I see the pain going down from a 8 level to a 2 to a 3 and a 2 and to a 0.
I know I
over
need this
time.
already.
I know. I was
This is
going to say, I knew you
fantastic.
were going to
I
love this
totally
when
need
we were
this
talking
already.
about it.
And I love that it's portable. You'd put that on your keychain, or you have
Yeah.
that in your pocket, or, it's so simple.
Yeah. We can also let you hear what's actually happening. Now you see we have this animation of the water drop that's just saying, well, it's now emitting the frequencies. But what it means, just go back here. If I have here a frequency detector, which puts frequencies, turns it into an acoustic signal. So I hold it close to the crystal.
I hear it.
That's what's happening. So it changes constantly the frequencies. So that those, what you hear are the pulse, the
yes.
electromagnetic fields turn into an acoustic signal.
That's
Now, is there a
exciting.
pattern, or what makes that pattern?
That is the pattern we developed. We have 3 functions: pain relief, muscle tension, and relaxation, which we call the golden triangle. We recommend that most complaints or even pain is addressed by using the combination of these 3.
Okay.
And every function has a specifically chosen set of composition of frequencies, which kind of run in a specific order.
Really?
Yeah.
I know before the show, I was like, can you feel that? Can you feel it? He said, well, put your hand out and relax. And you actually can feel the pulses. I mean, it's very, very faint,
Yeah,
and
you
that's the
need-
way it's supposed to be, I guess, right?
Yeah. You need to go in a little bit of a relaxed state with your hand, and then with your mind sense, what do I feel? And then I would say 99% of the people, they will tell, I feel a little bit of tingling, I feel a little bit of warmth, and it takes just a few seconds that most people say, hey, I feel it, this flare of warmth, tingling.
Huh.
So you actually have a client here with you, someone that's
Yes.
actually used this. Tell us about your experience. What have you found?
So I was really fortunate to meet Francis. This was just a bit of serendipity because I work in a health club and he's a member there, and I was talking to him about this procedure that I needed to have, which was a fairly invasive procedure. I had a spine, a disc replaced between C5, C6 in my cervical spine. And I was talking to him about it, and I was nervous about having the surgery, and didn't want to have the surgery. It was my neurosurgeon was at this point, I had to make the decision to really go forward with it. And he told me about the product, and so as soon he set me up before I had the surgery, and I started using it the day after surgery. So I had the disc replaced, and they you can see, I don't know if you can see my scar, but they go in through the front.
Because this was just recently.
This was literally 1 month ago yesterday.
Wow.
Wow.
So
30 days ago.
30 days ago.
Okay.
That's incredible.
And
They're operating on your neck.
they're operating
Yes.
on my neck,
gosh.
and it was, and also he removed some bone spurs in the back, so it didn't just have, that one particular area. I had some other areas in the back of my spine that I needed, that I, it was fairly sore. I was pretty sore, so I started using the crystal the day after, and literally within 3 days I was off my pain medication. So that made me, that was kind of my impetus.
That's
I really
amazing.
didn't want to be on pain medication too long. I'm a functional nutritionist as well, so I really don't want the chemicals in my body circulating all over. I just wanted to try something that I thought would be a healthier option, and it was really amazing. I felt really good days later, and I was saying I literally went back to work in 2 weeks. And
Now, was it an opioid? I got to guess it was an opioid that they.
Oh
they
yeah.
Yeah.
That
And
really
you were.
jacks you up. That's
Yeah, it does.
Wow.
But
The
you were
worst.
off of it in 3 days
By Wednesday.
after major surgery in your neck.
Yes.
I know, Francis, you and I were talking about this. I had a herniated C6 as you did, and I was completely paralyzed. It's awful pain. Nerve pain
Flat.
is the
Yes.
worst. And this actually helped you get off the pain medication. I can't imagine that.
I can't.
I mean,
either.
I think I was on it for about a month before mine gave up. But
3 days.
I know, that's
Wow.
amazing.
That's
Well, we're going to talk
ridiculous.
some more about how this thing works with the tools and everything else and why it works.
Yeah, I wanna
after
hear it.
Right after this commercial break.
I'm McKenna Ray sharing healthy tips. There's a class of chemicals that are widely used in our nonstick pans, pizza boxes, food wrappers, and a lot of other consumer products that are accumulating in our bodies and that have been discovered to be causing weight gain. These products for the last 60 years have been known as PFASs and are often used to waterproof products or to make them non-stick, to use them as stain resistant. And so that's why we often see them in our cookware, we see them in carpets, and in our food wrappers. These chemicals have already been linked to things such as cancers, as well as immune system dysfunctions and hormone disruptions, but now they're also seeing them slowing down our metabolism. So what scientists at Harvard did was they took a study of 621 people who were either overweight or obese, and they took their blood levels to see how many PFASs that they had in their system. Those with higher levels actually burned fewer calories and were more likely to regain weight after dieting. This was even more prominent in women, who were more likely to regain up to 5.5 more pounds after dieting because their levels of PFASs were higher. Let's be honest, it's really hard to avoid these chemicals. They're in everything. But if we learn about it and if we're aware about it, hopefully we can at least make a little bit more of a difference to avoid those and maybe help out our bodies a little bit more.
Hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name is Alex Andrew.
And I'm Gretchen Grace.
Sitting in for Dr. Shasta. And we're talking about some really fun stuff. EMF, PMEF, right? PEMF. Boy, easy for me to say. It's like me telling everybody, KIYS. How do I remember that? It's the Kindness in Your Soul Network. Remember that. And don't forget to tune in to KIYSradio.com to see all of our shows and check up on our latest charity program we got. We got Harvest India on the site coming up this week.
Oh, good.
For a month, so that's really cool, helping people in need.
Yes.
Well, I wanted to get more into this, kind of the day-to-day life of this. I mean, we had talked to Lisa a little bit about how it got her off opioids. Thank God for that.
In 3 days.
We need to get this thing out there.
Yes.
But kind of on a day-to-day life, what is your experience with some of your clients, and how does this help in more than just the pain aspect?
We have several clients which use it, and they've sent us their testimonials. One of the examples also. Women using it for menstrual complaints and the period pains. But also we have more significant cases. There is one of my connections in Germany, Dr. Volker Meissner, who used to be a major in the army in Germany, but an army doctor.
All right.
Being conventionally schooled, and he retired a number of years ago and started his holistic clinic, and he works with acupuncture and other modalities. And he, because I know him, he was one of the first to actually bought one and started using it in his clinic. And then a couple of months ago, he contacted us saying, I want to really actively promote it with my clients because I get great results. So he and I spoke. I said, what made you, after you used it so long, what made you come to that, decision? He said, well, he still does parachute jumping. And unfortunately, he broke his ankle. And in his clinic, he has a lot at his disposal. All the needles for the acupuncture, also some opiates, and the whole pistol. And he said, after a couple of days, he started using our Qoravita crystal, and it really helped him to cope with the pain.
Huh.
Wow.
That's and we were talking earlier about Lisa's experience with getting off the opioids, but it's not just like you're using it once and you're putting it in the drawer and not taking it out again. Especially since it's so beautiful, right?
Yeah, I use it now at night, so there's a relaxation function. So, it's really nice to just kind of come home and place it. I'm still kind of used to putting it on my neck, so I just kind of put it there, and it just makes... You also told me one about this function where you put it at your feet and it helps
Yeah.
you fall asleep.
Really?
So it was
Really?
really, I've done that a couple times, and that's been nice. So it's not,
Wow.
not just for pain, but just, for the other
Overall well-being.
Yeah.
I had
That's
heard,
wonderful.
speaking of the feet, you put oil, some type
Yes.
of oil on your feet, and it helps to stop snoring, which is, in
Time.
essence, it's kind of a mild apnea. I wonder, wow, I'm going to test it out. I'm getting
I
one.
want to.
I know I'm getting one.
Absolutely.
We had kind of talked about, we do a few little holistic types of things here on the show. I noticed there's a crystal on here. Is there any reason it looks like amethyst, but you said it isn't amethyst. What kind of crystal do you cover that
It's
thing?
rainbow fluoride. So of the thousands of crystals we have at our home, of basically bringing it to the manufacturer to encapsulate the electronics, and not a single one is the same. They're all different, but it's rainbow fluoride. And from a crystallographic point of view and characteristics they assign to fluoride, it's like grounding and healing in general.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
We don't advertise that because that's in the metaphysics arena. Which
You could advertise it in California, but probably not in Texas.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Right? In Texas, oh, yeah, that's what I want. In Texas, they're like, I don't care, just give me the electronics,
Yeah.
right?
For us, it was really to find a beautiful encapsulation, and then by coincidence, we came up with the fluoride, and then it's nice if it exposes these other characteristics. It's a nice add-on. We gladly benefit from.
Well,
that.
and I
Yes.
think anything on the earth here is here to help us out, whether it's crystals or stones or oils or food. I mean, food is medicine. You know that,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
Being a nutritionist.
Yes.
That is. Medicine is food.
Yes.
And this is really nice. I know you're the queen of detox, right?
am,
In fact, we
yes.
call her the detox fox.
Yes.
You like that? I like that.
It is.
And what you're trying to do, of course, is not put these pharmaceuticals and chemicals inside your body because they're foreign, right?
And they're all around us
And toxic.
every day.
Yeah, yeah, and your body has to react to them. Is there any other reaction that you know of with this electromagnetic frequency? Because one of the things that a lot of people worry about is the EMS from cell phones. Can you
True.
touch on that?
Yes, I think it was also a concern when I talked to the initial doctor who helped me, Dr. Rainer Viehweger, which is really an expert in these frequencies, and he's associated with our company. The first thing when I had the idea is our phones are bad. And I told him, Rainer, let's make these phones healthy. So I now make a statement, we have the antidote. Let me explain it a little bit. The frequencies, the cellular frequencies are all at megahertz, so at gigahertz, really high level. And we use for the therapeutic functions, we use lower frequencies between 3 and 10,000 hertz. The Earth's frequency, the Schumann resonance, is 7.3. Which we are exposed, and we need to be exposed to 7.3 hertz. If you isolate people from that frequencies, people get sick.
True.
Right.
True.
And so now what we recommended right from the beginning, when people use it, let's tell them to put the phone in airplane mode. So we block
okay.
out the other frequencies, but also
Yes.
you don't want to, when you treat yourself, you don't want to get a phone call or
Right,
look at your text
exactly.
True.
messages. So,
True.
but then gradually, even Dr. Rainer Viehweger came back. So, I don't think the concern is that big anymore because our lower frequencies during the therapy are so powerful that I would call it an antidote. But
No
it's,
kidding. So it helps
so the
to
same for us.
offset
Yeah,
the higher frequencies.
yeah, that's what the person who was highly, having an objection on taking this approach came completely back to that statement.
And
yeah.
that's
Well,
really great.
Yeah, and I know we have on our cell phone cases, we have a case that supposedly
It's like a safe sleeve.
safe sleeve, right? That kind of keeps the
Blocks the EMFs.
Yeah, and I was just watching. Actually, there's this whole thing now about the 5 gigahertz thing coming up, and everybody's really worried about the aspect of cancer causing frequencies on there. So basically, the way I look at it is if I'm talking on the phone while I'm holding it up, after I'm done, I put it on airplane mode, and then I stick that thing on my brain, and I'll be okay, right?
One cancels the other out.
Conceptually, that's how it works, right? So if somebody wanted to find out more about how to get involved with getting something like this, or even a therapist, I know you have programs for doctors and therapists. How do they do that?
Yeah, we have a kind of 50% discount offer for therapists, people who work with all kind of modalities, because they resonate with the technology. They already have the background knowledge, and they can explain to their clients how this all works.
Right.
So they get incentivized to use it and experience it, and they can even become an affiliate with us. And they are strongly supported by our staff, by our Dr. Rainer Viehweger, by Kenny Kittich, also a therapist, who is the co-founder together with me of the company. And we can fully support them and reach out to as many people as possible. So,
Oh, that's
This
really
is terrific.
Yeah, I want to be involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. I mean, we do this on the show. We were talking about this before the program. We're going to try this. I know we were talking about Lyme disease earlier.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned that somebody had been using something like this
we have one, I think a couple, but one I know very well because she's a close friend of mine, Sylvia in the Netherlands. She struggled with Lyme disease for a few years ago, and then started to use the crystal. And she reported that she no longer has, feel tired and all the discomforts which are related to Lyme disease. So I gladly bring you guys in contact with her. And
I would love to talk to her because I know firsthand what that's like, and it's
a terrible disease.
It's a complete.
It's terrible.
Yeah, and it's coming more and more up. Also, with the climate changing and warming up, there are more takes, out in nature, and so the spread of Lyme disease is
well, it's
epidemic.
It's not just in the East Coast anymore either. It's just crazy how that works. But this is really neat. I really appreciate you coming on to the show, Francis. Thank you, Lisa, so much.
Yes,
this is great. Don't forget to tune in to KIYSradio.com and catch all of our programs. Don't forget to catch our charity. If you have any ideas about a show or you have a great idea for a guest on the program, we'd love to hear from you. I'm at Alexandru at KIYSradio.com. Gretchen's at Gretchen at KIYSradio.com. And Shasta's at Shasta.
Talk to us.
Come
we want to
check
hear
it out.
from you.
And we are going to be back next week and having another awesome guest talking about awesome stuff like I always do here on the Kindness in Your Soul Network, KIYS Radio. Thanks again, guys, for coming on.
Thank
We
you.
really
Thank you very much.
appreciate it. Good luck with everything in the neck, too.
Thank
really
you so
love that.
much. Thank you.
All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
All right, we'll see
Have
you.
fun.
Bye.
Take care.